Hi, my name is Heather Lee.
And my name is Angelin, and we are board-certified behavior analysts.
We are here on behalf of the Alabama Psychiatric Medication Review Team, a collaboration between Alabama's Department of Human Resources and Auburn University's Department of Psychology.
We will be discussing what foster parents can expect in those first few weeks when a new child is placed in their home. Whether this is your first foster placement or your 21st, the decision to take a new child into your home is a big one. Every placement is unique. However, we would like to familiarize you with a few common events and issues that may occur at the beginning of a new placement and give you some strategies to be better prepared for a new child.
Today we will talk about some of the logistics that come with a new placement, some common behavioral reactions, and a few tips and strategies that will help you be better prepared for those first few weeks. Our overall goal is to help make your next placement go smoothly, help you hold on to your sanity, and ultimately achieve permanency through a more successful placement. When a child is first placed in your home, you can expect them to arrive with some basic needs that will need to be addressed, as well as a packed schedule. And within all of the chaos of this transition, there's an underlying adjustment period taking place. Let's take some time to look at each of these individually and get a better idea of what to expect. A foster child may arrive at your home with only the clothes on their back, or with very few personal possessions. You will likely find yourself needing to make several trips to the store. If the child is old enough, we encourage you to allow them to assist in picking out their new clothing or school supplies. It may be helpful to tell them ahead of time 2 to 3 specific items they need to pick out to help avoid a misunderstanding in the store. Next, you can also expect your calendar to be very full in those first few weeks. Many times, there are numerous doctor's visits in those first few weeks for things like medical, vision, and dental. Many children will need multiple trips to get up to date on vaccinations. They may also need to be seen by a specialist to assess their need for additional services, such as speech, mental health counseling, or behavioral services. Depending on the situation, the child may also have court dates and visitations with their family members. Additionally, the child's caseworker will visit the child at least once a month. You will also need to make sure your new child begins school as soon as possible. If the child's school is in the same county or one county away, every effort should be made for the child to go to their same school. If this is not possible, special meetings with the new school may be necessary to set the child up for success. Keep in mind that with everything going on in the child's life, they may initially have a hard time transitioning to a new school and making new friends. Needless to say, your first month will be packed. Though it may be overwhelming for you and your new foster child, you can expect things to begin to slow down a little bit after the first month. Within all of the chaos, there is also an adjustment period taking place for the child and your family. Remember, this child was just moved against their wishes to a strange home and to an unknown family. It's important to keep this in mind as you get to know each other and establish a new routine together.
Trauma and hard emotions are inherent to a new placement, and when you add the additional stress of everything involved with a new foster home, it is understandable that some foster children may act out in various ways. Although no two children are exactly alike, there are a few common patterns of behavior we may see. Many children go through what we call a honeymoon phase. This looks like a child being overly compliant and going out of their way to please those around them when they first come into your home. However, honeymoons can't last forever, and this sweet child may begin to act out. Some children believe it is their fault they were taken from their home and think if they behave well, they will get to go home. But once they see that is not the case, they start to act out. Although children may start to act out to test boundaries once they get to know you.
Other children may react by giving you what we call the cold shoulder treatment. The child may not be openly defiant by refusing to do things or arguing with you, but instead they're more passively defiant with you. This can look like the child ignoring your questions, giving brief one-word answers or shrugs, and only having the bare minimum interactions. They keep you at an arm's length no matter what you try, and this can be a result of not wanting to open up when they are so vulnerable or they do not want to hurt their family's feelings by making connections with a new family.
Another pattern we have seen is a child who is acting out the moment they come into your home. They are in survival mode, which can lead to many outbursts. This may look like frequent tantrums, outright defiance, or being physically aggressive. This may occur because conflict is the only tool they have learned to deal with a difficult situation. It also may be a reaction to their body being in fight or flight mode during this scary transition. However, your new child is reacting. Remember, they are dealing with a difficult situation in the only way they know how. We will talk more about strategies to handle a difficult transition later in the video. Another pattern we have seen is a child who is acting out the moment they enter your home. They are in survival mode, which can lead to many outbursts. This may look like frequent tantrums, outright defiance, or being physically aggressive. This may occur because conflict is the only tool they have learned to deal with a difficult situation. It also may be a reaction to their body being in fight or flight mode during this scary transition. However your new child is reacting, remember they are dealing with a difficult situation the only way they know how. We will talk more about strategies to handle a difficult situation later in the video.
Other common struggles for foster children that you may see include food hoarding, inability to complete simple self-care tasks, or sleep problems. Following a visit with their family, a child may have a toileting accident or trouble sleeping, or have a short-term increase in problem behavior. Something else to look out for are accusations and threats made by an angry or defensive child towards a foster parent. This is not an exhaustive list of everything you may encounter with a new placement, nor will every new kid have these issues. But understanding these types of struggles are common, especially towards the beginning of a new placement, can help you and your family be prepared. So now that we have outlined a few realistic expectations of how the transition may go and other bumps in the road that you may encounter, we're going to talk about a few basic strategies that will help you and your new child through this transition period. It's important to know that these strategies aren't meant to be a quick fix, and using them consistently will be a key component to their effectiveness. All of our strategies center on the idea that a new foster child's life is in chaos, and they may feel stuck in a storm of negativity. By developing an action plan, managing our expectations, defining a new type of normal, and looking at discipline differently, you can have a huge impact on this child's life and become the safe place in their storm.
You have likely heard the phrase, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and this could not be truer than in foster care. Before the new child comes into your home, it's important to have a plan for the what-ifs, including how you yourself want to react to different situations that may occur. What we want to avoid is a frustrated child acting out and then further escalating the situation by becoming emotionally heated or shouting at the child. Creating an action plan can prevent this. Discuss with your family ahead of time what they can possibly expect and how to react to different problems that may arise. Plan how you will respond to eliminate many of the issues that come with in-the-moment emotional responding. This will be an important step in ensuring consistency and stability in your own home environment. For more specifics on coming up with an action plan, check out our APMRT New Placement Action Plan worksheet on our website or by clicking this link. It is important to manage your expectations of what your new child will do or how they may feel. One expectation that many foster parents may have is that the new child should come into their home with gratitude for everything being done for them. Quite honestly, your new child may not be as happy to be in your home as you are to have them there. Do not take this personally if this happens. It's not about you. Their world has just been rocked, and no matter how safe and wonderful your home is, the child does not feel grateful to have been removed from their previous home. Other expectations foster parents may have for a new child may be that they learn the new rules of their household within a few days, or by just hearing them. However, remember that those first few weeks are busy with appointments and unfamiliar situations. A more realistic expectation for the child may be that they learn the household rules after a few weeks, with some reminders and positive coaching from you as a foster parent. As a foster parent, you may expect the child to eat the food you provide without complaint or hesitation. However, many children in care have histories of not getting enough food or not having any restrictions on the food they eat. This, on top of all the new things going on, we can instead be more flexible with giving the child food choices. For the first few weeks, ask them what their family usually eats and incorporate it into your family meals. Teaching healthy eating, manners, and etiquette will take time, but there is no rush, especially at the beginning of the transition. By acknowledging and managing these expectations ahead of time, you will have a better chance of being the safe place in their storm and be able to provide a more therapeutic approach for them.
One way we can help facilitate the process of learning a new type of normal is by giving the child time to learn all of your household rules and routines before requiring them to follow them, and by avoiding going all out in those first few weeks. All families have some routine and rules that exist within their home, and a new child may not be familiar or even comfortable with your day-to-day routines. They may come from a home with very different routines and expectations, or none at all. It is important that you include your foster child into your family and into your routine by giving them the opportunity to do so, but not necessarily forcing the issue of participation right away. Allow them time to observe your family's routine before expecting them to actively participate. If they have questions about your family's routine, answer them honestly and at a level they can understand. It may be helpful to let them know why you do such activities in your house. As your new foster child is getting to know your household and your routines, it's important to make sure those first few weeks reflect normal activities for your family. Oftentimes, we want to gift the child with all new toys or take them to fun and exciting places they may have never been before. At this point, the child might assume that this is what life will be like each day in your home, which can lead to arguments and disappointments in the weeks to come when new toys and special trips are no longer the norm. You may also be eager to introduce them to your friends, families, and neighbors. In those first few weeks, however, it's important to work on getting to know your new child and allowing them to get to know you without overwhelming them with additional introductions. As you try to teach and change behaviors with your new foster child, keep in mind, some children have never been disciplined well. And by discipline, we mean discipline by definition, teaching. Many children in foster care have been screamed at, beaten, or allowed to run wild, and as a result, corporal punishment would likely be ineffective in changing their behavior. If you shift your mindset to look at discipline as teaching rather than as punishment, you will have more success in recognizing problematic situations as teaching opportunities. More often than not, problematic behaviors are simply the result of a skill deficit or bad examples in the child's learning history, and you will spend a great deal of time teaching and reteaching. The takeaway point here is to focus more on what you would like the child to do in teaching that skill rather than focusing your efforts and attention on punishing them for what you do not want them to do. This may require a bit of a change in your parenting style, but the payoff will be worth it. Thank you for watching our video on what to expect when expecting a new foster placement. We hope you feel better prepared for your next transition and to become a safe place in the child's storm.
For additional information on medication, behavior, and the APMRT project, follow us on our Facebook page, check out our website, where you can find additional training videos and resources, or reach out to us to make a referral. Thank you for watching.